Hello, Louisiana Beer Reviews presents Schlitz beer, introduced in 1849, but that's not actually the case because this came out in 2007, this recipe.
And I tried this particular recipe a couple years back, and it was good. You drink on it, and it was good, and then all of a sudden you hit the wall with it. It's like, oof. Because this is a lager, isn't it?
Yeah. What happened with Schlitz, they had screwed up their company back in the mid-70s, and so they hired a guy that used to work for Budweiser, and he reformulated their beer and made it better. And then they kind of went bankrupt. And then in 2007, they came out with a new Schlitz, and they had the old Schlitz still around until 2011. And this is the only Schlitz they have now. They make it with Malthood and Willamette hops.
And some might say that Schlitz is the shits.
Oh yeah, the beer that made Milwaukee famous, just a kiss of the hops. Thick white head and it's golden.
Well, speaking of making cities famous, you do realize why Pabst Blue Ribbon became so famous, right?
Not necessarily.
It has something to do with Chicago burning down.
Oh, that was this. They sent all these. Yeah, Chicago had the fire.
That was Pabst.
No, Chicago had the big fire, and so the Schlitz company sent cases and cases of free beer to help them out, and that's why it became the beer that made Milwaukee famous.
I stand corrected.
But Pabst bought Schlitz. This is owned by Pabst today. It says on the side, Schlitz Brewing Company, but actually Schlitz Brewing Company is owned by Pabst. And it's 4.6% alcohol.
No. I thought this was 6.0.
No, 4.6. You're thinking of the Schlitz malt liquor, which is 6%.
This is a different beer than what I had a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's the blue label with the black bull. And then remember I brought the charcoal filtered Schlitz Gold Bull, which we can't get around here. We might have to go make a little road trip.
I agree.
We really like the Schlitz Gold Bull.
Next time we head out to Ardenville.
That's 8.5. This is much lighter. We didn't get the aroma.
The aroma is beer.
Like you
That's
said,
it.
standard lager beer.
That's it. But it doesn't go down. It's like it just stays on your palate a little bit, and then you're waiting for some watery something to bring it down. And this is what I remember about this beer. It just doesn't go down. It's not. It's like everything just stays behind on your palate. You still taste beer even though the beer's gone.
It lingers.
Does it linger? It's still there. I've been talking for 2 minutes and it's still there.
You know, there's a lot of different Schlitz beer recipes out there. We only get this one and the Blue Bull, the malt liquor.
Well, they need to send us better ones.
We don't get the XL, the extra long Red Bull. We don't get the Ice Bull, which will really knock you out. And we don't get the Gold Bull, the charcoal filter.
Oh, that one was awesome.
We only
That was the best Schlitz beer I've ever tasted in my life. It was so good. It was so smooth. There were absolutely no impurities in it whatsoever, and it was just a fantastic brew.
Yeah, they use like 3 malts and 5 hop varieties, and they charcoal filter it. But then you can't get it.
Well, it's probably local distributorships probably keeping it out because they know once it gets here, people are going to be all over it.
It could be, but if you go to like Lake Charles,
sure we don't get the Blue Bull.
we get the Blue Bull. I can get that in Hammond. I can get a 40-ounce bottle, and I can
We
get.
don't get it around here.
I hadn't seen it. I can get.
That's usually targeted toward ethnic neighborhoods.
Yeah. Well.
So maybe checking out some of the ethnic mom and pop stores and maybe putting a word out and saying, hey, you know, can you get this? I mean, you just have to go into some of the
I can very
neighborhoods.
easily get a 40-ounce bottle of Schlitz malt liquor with a fresh date, and I can get a 6-pack of the cans fresh date the next time I go to Hammond if you want me to. I can get that easy.
Okay.
The bottle. I'll get the bottle. I'd rather bottle. Don't you prefer bottled beer over a can?
It all goes in glass anyway. I drink out of a glass.
Well, I mean, would you
Whether it's
prefer?
can or bottle,
So you don't
I just drink
care?
out of a glass.
So whatever I get, you don't care.
Glass or cup. That's what I drink out of.
Yeah, I agree. I just some people.
I like everything to come out. I like the beer to open. I like it to breathe. You know, much like somebody who drinks wine. They're not gonna sit there and go, "Hey, I like this wine out of a bottle." You know, they're gonna let it breathe. They're gonna pour it in there. They're gonna aerate it.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, you should treat your beer just like wine drinkers treat wine.
No, I agree with that. Nice lacing though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, I don't know what you think about it. We get it so cheap where I live. I mean,
It's like a regular beer, but it kind of sticks like peanut butter a little bit on my palate. Yeah. When you're a kid, you eat a peanut butter sandwich. It's like it's not really coming off. You know, you needed something to cut it.
yeah, I ate one this morning.
It's just this is just like I call this peanut butter beer. Not because it tastes like peanut butter, but it's got an
It hangs
effect.
around.
Yeah, it just kind of hangs around on your palate, and you're like, holy cow! You already stick your finger in there and scrape it.
I can get 6 packs of this for $4.40,
I believe it.
and I can get a 12 pack of the regular size cans for $9.99 where I live, which is not the greatest price really.
No.
But it does sell pretty well where I live, you know, in St. John the Baptist Parish. I don't see it much in Jefferson Parish. I don't think you do see it too much.
That's because we're a little bit more civilized.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyway, I don't know what you'd score it. When I was a little kid, this used to be like a big time beer, but that was a long time ago. 4 decades ago, you know.
It's a slow drinker. Like, you know, because it stays on the palate longer, you don't want to drink. So it's a slow drinker. If you're into just sipping your beers, let them get warm, especially this style, I wouldn't do that. Or if you put an ice cube or something in it.
See, I think my grandma would have liked this beer.
Yeah, it's kind of got that old beer appeal to it.
It would
Not
go,
like the rice beers,
it would go.
like Dixie and Lone Star, but it's a little better than that. It's got, you can taste it's made with better ingredients.
It's better than Dixie.
Oh, by far. I hope it dies with Tom Benson.
Oh, that was wrong. All right.
It needs to. It's a horrible beer.
This goes really well with boiled crawfish, though. Like when they're really spicy and they got a lot of mushrooms and sausage in it.
I reckon.
But anyway, all right. What would you score it?
It's an A.
An A. Oh, all this talk, and he still gives it an A. He was like ripping his
Well,
guts
I
out.
had to think about what I scored and why does his style make it what it is, and it's a good A. It's nothing wrong with it.
I like to bring it to.
Other than it's peanut butter.
I like to bring it to like events, like get-togethers as a curiosity piece. Because when I bring this beer, and people, there'll always be some like 82-year-old man saying, "Schlitz, oh man," and then they want to tell you a long story. Man, I remember I used to drink that beer. And we used to hang out at Charlie's Saints Marching Club bar, and it's like always going to tell you some long story, you know.
Yeah.
It's one of those old man beers, like you talked about old man bourbons. I don't think too many young people drink
Yeah, but
this.
if an old man's going to drink this, he's going to pack his glass of ice and pour it in there.
Yeah, maybe. And one more thing. Apparently, this is real popular at Snake and Jake's bar.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Snake and Jake's.
Oddly enough, you bring up Snake and Jake's. You've been to Snake and Jake's.
No, but this is like their featured beer at Snake and Jake's.
All right, kids, if y'all don't know anything about Snake and Jake's, it's an old 2-lane in the middle of the neighborhood bar. It's not even in a bar section. It's literally in a residential area, and it looks like someone's garage. And I went in there a long time ago, and it's nothing special. It's just a hang around and shoot the shit with people place, and that's it.
This is their
I
premier.
think they got Christmas string lights like I used to have in the old place. And yeah, it's just a bar, and there's always some guy back there. What do you want? You know, and you tell them it's one of those places where you can pull into the parking lot if you don't have any money, and you have that ice chest in the back of your trunk, iced down with something beer that they're always selling. No one's gonna question whether you go out with an empty beer and come back with a full one.
But at Snake and Jake's, Schlitz is their premier.
When we were young and poor, that was the thing to do. Is you drive around and you'd have an ice chest in the back, full with either Miller Lite, Budweiser, or some brand like PBR. Where you knew if you went in someplace, they were all selling that. So the thing was, you go in and you buy one, and you get down to about that much, and you step outside, because in New Orleans you could do that. And you just walk over, get one out of the cooler,
I know a guy that does that.
and walk back.
I know a guy that does that. He gets a whole 30-pack in his trunk, and he drinks all night at a bar. But anyway, Henry's Bar Magazine has a lot of PBR. That's kind of like their main beer. But anyway, all right. So in I love Schlitz.
Funny enough, you know about Henry's too.
Yeah, a little bit. All right. Anyway, so all right. Thanks for watching this video production. Y'all come on down to Jefferson Parish. Yeah, I know a lot about a few little places.